What's good, Spurs Knights? Your boy Clan. Um, I want to talk about last night, of course. As pissed off as I was during that game, as irritated as I was during that game, I actually walked away with it with more positives than negatives. Now, I'm going to go ahead and get the negatives out of the way as far as my feelings on it so I can go straight into the positives. So, obviously, the elephant in the room is the fact that neither Keldon Johnson or Luka played at all. Now, looking at how that game was going, there's no reason, in my opinion, that those two shouldn't have played or at least got some minutes. This would have been the perfect game, I think, to got some minutes in. It was one of those games where things weren't clicking. Things the from the vets wasn't really working out. Marco played decent, but it just wasn't good. So I think that was a situation where they could have played, and it would have made a lot of sense to just let them go out there, see what they can do. Um, you know, let them show some effort or show that effort, and maybe it inspire the rest of the team, or possibly give Keldon Johnson a spot if he's consistent in this game. Early on, you put him in and see what he does, and if he can run it correctly or whatnot. So it would have made a lot of sense to let him play or let them play. All right. So those are my negatives. Those basically my only true negatives for this game. I mean, we can go through everything else, but I mean, any other negative has been said already on this channel. So I mean, it's same old as that at that point. But I got some positives. All right. So positive. I think the team fought. When I went on that rant and I said that they were soft and they weren't playing hard and whatnot, I think this game they actually did fight. All right, I did see a lot of fight in them. That's one positive. So they it's not like they just laid down. They did fight. Number two, another positive is that Lonnie Walker showed once again that, or at least glimpses, that he can be that clutch player, or he's going to be that clutch player in the future. That he's going to be a guy that we're probably going to be able to rely on quite a bit late in the fourth quarter. That I just don't believe that it's coincidence how accurate he becomes once the game dwindles down, once the game gets into late in the fourth quarter. I don't think that's a coincidence that the guy gets that accurate. That three-pointer was right on line, and he was not looking great as far as his shooting, but he turned it on when it mattered, and it just sucked that the Spurs couldn't keep it up. I mean, we made a lot of mental mistakes, but yeah, that's been said already. Another positive. All right, so positive number one, Lonnie Walker showed some promise once again. Positive number two, after the game, Popovich took blame for the awful play. He took full blame for it. He said that he was proud of the team. He felt like, well, I said, what did I say 1 and 2 was? Hold on, I'm going backtracking. I said 1 was we fought hard, 2 was Lonnie, 3. Okay, we're on 3. Sorry about that. But yeah, Popovich took blame for it. He said, yo, I didn't coach my best, because he said that the rotations, I think he said the rotations weren't up to par, or at least the game plan. I think that's what he said. The game plan was not good. He said the game plan I came to the game did not work. It wasn't helping, and it really messed us up. Which, yeah, I think most of us thought that game plan was going to be weird. I mean, as soon as we saw Trey Lyles starting, it's like, I don't, who going to stop Porzingis? I mean, I think I understand where Popovich was coming from, because he was coming from the idea that Porzingis is going to be, a stretch, and that's what he's going to do. And Trey Lyles can get out there and defend it. He's versatile and quick enough to get out there. I understand where he was coming from, but I think we kind of underestimated Porzingis and his ability. I mean, Porzingis isn't just a shooter. I mean, Porzingis is pretty damn good. He's a chameleon. He can do quite a few things. So I think we kind of overestimated that. Also, I don't think Trey Lyles, honestly, in my opinion, I don't think Trey Lyles played that great. That's just me. Um, but yeah, so Popovich took blame for it, and I see that as a positive. I see that as a huge positive because many times this season it has been a lot of Pop saying, we're defensively challenged and the team just didn't play hard. Rightfully so. He was right about those things, but at the same time he didn't take a lot of blame for it, where we were sitting back like, yo, you need to take some blame because some of these rotations is just awful. So I think at this point maybe Popovich has, he's not arrogant by any means. He don't seem come across as that kind of guy. But maybe this humbled him a little bit, where he's like, you know what, I'm gonna try to, play to people's strengths more so. Maybe I'm overcoaching this thing, and let me, see what can happen. Another positive that I saw Popovich pull Lonnie and DeJounte Murray, sat down with him, made, Lonnie, I think Lonnie sat on his right, DJ sat on his left. He talked to him. It looks like whatever talk Pop had with him, it helped, because as soon as they got back in the game, they looked much better. So that's another positive. It seems like Lonnie Walker and DeJounte Murray is cohesively, or not cohesively, collectively getting the teachings, and it looks like that they're learning to play together and play with one another. So that's another positive. Another positive I got. I don't know if we're on 4 or 5. I don't remember now, to be honest with you. DeMar DeRozan. I saw DeMar DeRozan that didn't just lay down or didn't just lay back and get quiet and just get angry only at refs. He actually made the team huddle up. He huddled up with the team. He took on more of a leadership role. He was more proactive. He did the things that we needed a vet to do. Now, whether or not that ended with a win or loss, it doesn't matter in my opinion, only because I think that what he did will help us in the future, or at least help those guys in the future. Because me personally, I could have missed it, and you guys could be like, Clan, you're totally wrong. He's been doing this all season. This is the first time I've seen it. Now, sure enough, I missed about 4 games this season, so maybe he done it in one of those games. I missed about 4 or 5, but I haven't seen it. Okay, so this was the first for me seeing him do that. I didn't really see him with last season, but he was new last season. So that's another positive. I think another positive from this game, because I got a few. Marco. I think Marco Bellinelli played well. I don't think that, of course his defense isn't there. Him playing well didn't mean too much, apparently, because, obviously we still lost. But yeah, Marco Bellinelli. Marco played very, very well. Marco did everything that I feel like we needed him to do, as far as his shooting, as far as his, he even rebounded quite a bit. So he did everything that we needed him to do, from a shooting guard standpoint. So I think that's really good. So yeah, man, overall I think that the team as a whole did pretty good. And honestly, when it comes to the team, right? So when it comes to DeJounte Murray, when it comes to Lonnie Walker, when it comes to Keldon, when it comes to Derek White, when it comes to those guys, the young guys or the guys that haven't been in the NBA that long, and if they make mistakes and they make bad mistakes, it's one of those things where you're not 100% sure how they're going to learn from it, or if they're going to learn from it. Like, for instance, DeJounte Murray, for 4 games, he played tremendous. He looked like, or at least for 2 games, he looked like a legit point guard. He had a really good balance between shooting and passing, but then at the same time, he's so young till it's not guaranteed that you learn these things. It's not guaranteed that you become a Timmy, a Tony, a Manu. It's not a guarantee, So just because he had a couple games is not guaranteed that he becomes that. So when he makes a mistake or when the young guys make a mistake, I'm always like, man, I hope they learn from it, because it's not a guarantee. But the one thing I will say about Popovich, with this game being on Popovich, totally on Popovich, and him even agreeing that, yeah, it was totally on me, it was my fault we lost, I feel a little more comfortable with it being totally on Pop. And I feel more comfortable with Pop saying it's totally on me because Pop has proven throughout his career that he can adjust. He's proven that he is, one of the greatest coaches ever. And he's adjusted through decades of basketball. The brand of basketball that the Spurs played have looked quite different over the years. So I'm comfortable with that. I'm cool with that. If it was a young guy that we were just sitting here blaming DeJounte and blaming White and blaming Lonnie and whatnot, I wouldn't feel as comfortable because I'm like, they got to learn from it. I know they're young, but it's not a guarantee that you learn from anything. It's not a guarantee you become a great. But at least with Popovich, he is already a great. It will be similar if Tim Duncan, like when Tim Duncan or Manu Ginobili used to have bad games, because they did. I know we don't remember it, but they had bad games. And Manu's my favorite player of all time, and I'll never forget the 2013 finals. He was awful. Okay, so, but at the same time, I never felt scared of next season. Like, oh my God, 2014, Manu ain't gonna learn. No, he's a professional. He's great. He's already proven that he can adjust. So I feel the same way with Pop. So I say all that to say this. It's a positive when we come out of a game and the biggest problem was Popovich. I'm okay with that. I can live with that. I can. I know a lot of people aren't completely happy with that. Not completely happy with Pop right now, which is fine, but I don't think that it's time to dogpile the man. The man is, come on. He's done a lot for the franchise. But like I said, I think that it's pretty good when we can come out of the game and say, yo, Pop was the issue. Pop, you were the problem. That's a good thing. Because Pop will adjust, and he can adjust. At least we know he's capable of adjusting. Will he adjust? Who knows, but he's capable of doing it, okay? He did it many a times, and he's done it. That's the thing, too. Like, when people say that they want him to adjust, and he needs to adjust, sometimes he's adjusted to a fault. So I think right now, I think Pop is in a weird position, okay? I think he's in a really weird spot right now, because I think part of Pop wants to adjust. I think part of Pop wants to just, change things up, play to everyone's strengths. But then part of Pop is also saying, well, I tried that with LaMarcus Aldridge and it still didn't work. So I think he's stuck right now. I think he's stuck in a weird place. I think part of him wants to just do full-on Pop things. Just implement the Pop system that has worked forever and just put the puzzle pieces in. But then part of them is like, damn, I need to adjust. And then part of them is like, well, I did adjust and it ain't got us anywhere. I did adjust to the players we got. I did play to LaMarcus Aldridge and DeRozan's strengths, and it didn't get us anywhere. So I think he's in a weird spot right now. So overall, like I said, I'm happy with the game. I mean, I'm not happy with the loss, obviously. But I am happy with it. At first, I was very irritated. I was very upset watching the game. But then after I thought about it a little bit, I said, I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing because us as fans sitting back blaming all the players, yeah. I mean, you play like crap, you play like crap. But then last night, it was like, oh, man, this looks sloppy. This looks awful. This looks like they're not ready. It looks like they don't know what they're supposed to be doing. Players don't know when to switch, when not to switch. It was just bad. It was just yeah. I mean, Luka Doncic killed Lonnie. At one point, he was just killing Lonnie. That was hard to watch. But it was a lot of that, man. But I think it's pretty good that now we can look back and we can say, hey, Pop took the blame for it, and I believe the man gonna do something about it. All right, I believe Pop is gonna do something about it. I feel like he's gonna adjust in a positive way. And I know some people might say, well, why do you think that? Why do you think that Pop gonna change now? He's old and stubborn. Because he's changed over the last 3 decades, and here's the 4th decade. And honestly, I just believe that he's capable of doing it. I mean, he's given us plenty of years, and 1 year of bad coaching is fine. Okay, it's fine. Uh, Hopefully he adjusts, figure out what they need to do, and he'll do it. But obviously, the part of Pop that makes him special is the coaching, and he's still doing it. I mean, not the coaching, the teaching moments, the sitting down and talking to you moments, the player friendly moments. That's what makes Pop special, and he did a lot of that last night. He did a lot of that. Him talking, and when people say, well, he can't get through the players, it's BS. He still does, because after he had that talk with Lonnie Walker and DJ, they came out there and they looked pretty damn good. So there is no worry from me right now. I was expecting, honestly, I'll be real with you guys. After last night's game, my emotions were so high. I was expecting to get on today and be a big ass rant and going off. But then the more I thought about the game, and then when I saw the post game, the press conference, I said, you know what? I'm not going to waste my energy getting angry that, this player didn't play well. This player was in this position, didn't play well. And because honestly, like Pop said, it is on him. Last night was on him. And, when you don't have LA and you starting Trey Lyles at center, it's just not going to work. It's just not going to work. And I believe, wasn't DeMar DeRozan at power forward? It's just too small. And then you got Bryn Forbes at shooting guard. I guess he was a shooting guard. You got Lonnie at small forward. It was just ugly. It was just ugly. All right, I'm gonna look through these. Let me look through these messages, and then I'm gonna get off, or at least look through you guys' comments in the chat. Chat time. All right. Yep. Don't understand why they didn't play. I'm assuming you're talking about Keldon. Bro, we have no defense, and 3-point shooting is lackluster, and we need to play Keldon and Luka since we have him there right now. Yeah, defense was bad. That's what I was saying, man. When it comes to the defense and the 3-point shooting, a lot of people say, we don't have 3-point shooting, which we kind of don't. So I agree with that. So I always felt, instead of going straight for 3-pointers, instead of putting players out there and putting Bryn Forbes, Patty, and Marco out there simultaneously, because just get some 3-pointers, I felt like maybe, I think DeMar needs to just shoot more threes, just let it rip. If it's open, let it rip. Don't worry about it. And I feel like we should play on our strengths. And our strengths right now is the paint. Like, it's driving. We should set up more plays where we can try to get in the paint, where the guards can get in the paint. It shouldn't just be ISO. I got so tired of seeing ISO last night and people just run into the paint, contested layup, missed. I mean, it happened plenty of times. It happened with Rudy Gay. It happened with DeMar. It happened with basically everybody. But that's our strength. If you think about our team, Jakob is great around the rim. And I don't mean just good. I think he's great around the rim. DeMar DeRozan is great around the rim. Lonnie Walker is great around the rim. DeJounte Murray, good? Too great around the rim. I mean, I thought he was great. He missed quite a few free throws, layups, but over the last couple games. But he's basically that's his first instinct: get around the rim. Keldon Johnson, great around the rim. So to me, it doesn't make too much sense when you have all these players that's good at being in the paint, making layups, trying to force fouls, and we still play on the strength, or we still try to play on our third or fourth good thing that we do, which is 3-point shooting. I don't understand it. I really don't. I think that you should just set it up where we're trying to get in the paint, and you're gonna have to shoot threes to open things up. You got to keep them honest. But I'm sorry, if DeMar DeRozan, can't shoot threes, he's a star. He can't shoot threes. If DJ can't shoot his threes, when we need them. If Lonnie can't shoot his when we need them, then what's the point anyway? We're not going to do anything this year anyway. So you might as well just play on your strengths, and tell them 3-point shooting when you're open, or if they give it to you, and keep it moving. If you miss it, you miss it. You know what I'm saying? That's how I see it. I don't think we should double down on 3-point shooting. It's okay not to be the best 3-point shooting team. Especially this year. This year, it's not like we got a
Golden State Warriors lurking. You know what I mean? And I'm not afraid of the Houston Rockets, but it's not like we got a Golden State Warriors lurking that can just shoot all these threes. You know what I mean? So I'm not really worried about that much. But that's just me. That's just me. What do I know? You know, I'm just a Spurs fan like y'all. Uh, Lonnie has gotten really good defensively as well. He's moving his feet very well. Yeah, he has. That one foul they called on him, that was bullshit. I mean, he still hit the shot, which was an amazing shot to make. I think it was Doncic, Luka Doncic, who still hit the shot. That was an amazing shot. That defense was great. It shouldn't have been called. I mean, he didn't even touch him. The matchups were okay. The scheme was terrible. Uh, you said the matchup. Yeah, the matchups were good. The matchups weren't that bad because that's what I was thinking. I was like, all right, you got Lonnie Walker and DeJounte out there at the same time. We better not see no Britton Forbes on Luka, on Luka Doncic, but that was not the case. Britton Forbes, I don't know if he guarded Luka once, so they did pretty good. You see, they switched everything. End up with Britton on Finney Smith and Lonnie on Porzingis for easy lobs. That's true, but some players, I'll just call them out. Trey Lyles, when they were supposed to switch, he didn't switch. It was times where people got confused when to switch or who to switch on. DeJounte Murray was great at that. Like he knew exactly it was when it was time to switch. Trey Lyles, it was quite a few times, at least two or three, where I saw him where it was time to switch and he was either late on the switch or he wasn't sure to switch. Like it was one with Lonnie Walker, and it was Luka and Porzingis, and it was time to switch, and Trey Lyles went deeper into the paint rather than switching onto his man. It was really weird. So rebound is a part of defense. Yes, it is. They also doubled Luka a lot. Wasn't that strong of a double, which led to open threes and cutters to the basket. Yeah, and another thing too that I noticed, um, you guys could like tell me how you feel about this. I think that DeMar DeRozan is one of the worst uh, double teamers. Wait, how would I say this? Double teamers, I guess. He's bad at double teams. Like he's really bad, in my opinion. He's really bad. Like it's like he's always in a weird spot. Like he doesn't make a decision quick enough or something. It's really weird. I don't know. His double teams are too obvious, and then I don't know how to explain it. I don't know if anybody ever noticed that, but I'm like, man, everybody knows when a double team's coming from DeMar. I don't know. It's weird. Either he's not quick enough or he's not decisive enough when to go for the double team. I don't know. It's weird. They also okay. I read that already. Marco underrated rebounder. His court awareness is A1. Oh, we always said that though, Gio. I won't call him an underrated rebounder. I won't go that far. I know he had 8 last night, but he's not an underrated rebounder. I don't think Marco's the best rebounder. I don't think Mavs are that great of a rebounding team. But I know what you're saying. But I don't say underrated rebounder. But he is A1. Court awareness A1. We always knew that. That's part of the reason why he can get playing time at all. Because he knows, where he is on the court. He knows where other people are on the court. He makes the right passes, the right cuts. He's very consistent in that manner. It's just a matter of, is he going to be consistently shooting? And if he can't consistently shoot, his defense is already pretty bad. So he just ended up looking really bad out there till we're scratching our heads like, why is he even playing? So giving up threes is a part of Spurs defensive scheme. I don't know if did I mention that? Giving up threes? I don't know if I mentioned that. Let the other teams chuck nothing at the rim, no fouls. I get. I guess. I didn't giving up three. I don't know if we gave up. Did we give up a lot of three? Were we trying to give up threes this game? I didn't see it this game. Because that's the last thing you want to give up with Luka. And I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying because it was a few. Oh man, it's a dumb scheme. Then that's a dumb scheme because now I'm trying to think about it. I don't know if they were just trying to give those up. Were they? I'm trying to think back. I saw a big three from Tim Hardaway, which was wide open. Maybe you're right. It was quite a few wide open threes. I don't know why I try that with them with the Mavs. I don't know. Especially when you got Porzingis and Luka Doncic, because Luka can light it up, and then you got, I mean, Tim Hardaway ain't something to play with either. I don't know why you would do it. It was just a bad scheme all around. It was just a bad scheme all around. And then some games we don't even contest, like, and it wasn't one of those where, oh, they're just, giving up the three on purpose. No, it was times in previous games where we just didn't contest, that we were late on the closeouts. Spurs playoff hopes are realistically over. Well, I won't say realistically over. You can't. I mean, if we get on that, look, these games that we have left aren't the worst ever. Okay, you can win a lot of these. So I'm not gonna say it's just over. And the Grizzlies got an awful schedule left. I don't see them winning many more games. They're probably gonna get kicked out of the playoffs. And I know what you guys are saying, because a lot of people are saying Pelicans are doing pretty good, so that's going to be tough. But we still got one game with the Pelicans, so it's not that it's just over. It's just, damn, get your act together now. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to make it, you got to get your act together now. Let me keep reading your comment. Considering that they haven't shown they can be consistent this season, that's okay though. I love building around Walker, White, and Murray. I got you, dog. Yeah, Pop admitted it, but also our players don't play defense up to par to defend players like Luka, or even just players open at the 3 line. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like Gio said, he feel like that's part of the scheme, but if that was part of the scheme last night, it was a stupid scheme. Like, it made no sense to do that, honestly. I haven't seen, honestly, it's a few times I saw us give up a 3, but it never felt like it was on purpose. I mean, why would you give up a 3 to Tim Hardaway? Like, I think Tim Hardaway is a good shooter. I don't know. I don't know. Mavs is a contender with Luka and KP, so not mad that we lost to them in a tight game. I feel like the Spurs defensive scheme was the reason for open threes. That zone was hard to watch. Open corner threes. I don't think Spurs should play zone against 3-point shooting teams. Mavs. I don't know. I didn't see. I mean, it's one of those things, man. I would much rather be on here with you guys, because sometimes I don't catch some of this, because I didn't catch the zone this game. Now, I've seen us play zone this season. I didn't see a lot of zone this game, but you could be right. I could be wrong. You could be right. I saw a lot of man-to-man, but a lot of man-to-man and switching, but I don't know. Lonnie did his best, but Luka danced on him. I like the fact that the young players got a chance to play. No Luka or no Keldon or Luka. Did you see what DeRozan said? No, Thomas. Can you tell me what DeRozan said? Okay, these are a lot of comments. I'm not going to be able to get through all these. Yeah, I'm not getting through all these. I'll read one Ruru and then keep it pushing. And where the hell is Rudy Gay at? Did he realize the season is half over? What did DeRozan say? Can somebody tell me what DeRozan said? Tell me what DeRozan said. I'll give my thoughts on that, and I'm going to go ahead and close it out for today, or at least for now. By the way, anybody that's in here, can you give this video a like? Because that's the only way for people to see the video. Or it's a good way for people to see the video. You give it a like. Thank you. Thanks. So what did he say? Did anybody know what DeMar DeRozan said? He said, how about lazy? DeMar's a lazy defender. Honestly, Ruru, I'm not even mad at DeRozan, because there was plenty of times where DeRozan had to switch over because people were leaving the lane wide open. He had to switch over, and he kept committing fouls. But it seemed like he was trying. He is a lazy, don't get me wrong, he is a lazy defender, okay? He is a lazy defender. I guess I'm just thinking about this game particularly, because I didn't see him be like it was all on him or anything like that. I saw a lot of bad defense, but it was because of the rotations, because of the scheme. As far as DeRozan, I just didn't feel like it was this game that he was awful. You know what I mean? Twilight Zone. Yeah, I don't know. It's because DeRozan has no heart. It might be Steve Nash syndrome. He was never really asked to play any D for his whole career. You can't expect him to learn to play D. Yeah, that's true. Defensive players, I'll tell you this, guys. Defensive players were never asked to play defense. Like you don't become a great defensive player because the coach made you play defense. I don't think that's necessarily the case. Now, I guess you can go into, let's say Spurs, right, who forces you to try to play good defense. Um, I guess you can leave with more knowledge on playing defense, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're a better defender. You know, if you're going to be a great defender, you're going to be a great defender. Like you're going to do it. It's not going to be the coach telling you to play defense. Like that's something that you kind of put on yourself, that you're just going to be a great defender. Like right out the gate, like if you think about some of the greatest defenders ever, right out the gate they were good defenders. Like right when it started, I can't even think of a player that wasn't good at defense, and then as their career went on, they just became the greatest at defense. No, they were always good at defense, because that's just effort. That's just effort. You know, learn. That's just something you want, because it's not. There's no way of really tracking it other than steals and blocks, which are rare. So, you know, it's not really statistic wise. You're exerting a lot of energy, and it's not contributing to any statistics. You know, and then oftentimes I feel like even fans can't really see the impact of somebody's defense or how good they play defense on a play if it doesn't result in a block or a steal, you know? He said, I've heard rumors that the Spurs have their eye on Bradley Beal this offseason. I think, what's called said that. I think CG said that at one point this season. It was it early this season that he mentioned that? Nobody in this locker room enjoys losing. Uh, okay, this is what he said. All right, so nobody in this locker room enjoys losing. We got out there and fight. When the outcome is a loss, it's tough, especially with the amount of games we have left and the opportunity to try to make a playoff run. Playoff push. Every single game is critical. Okay, so that's what he said. I mean, I don't know what to say to that. I mean, that's not my thoughts on that. I mean, oh, okay. You said all I heard was the Bleacher Report said DeRozan said he called the Spurs' recent struggles extremely frustrating. Of course it is. Of course it is. But hey, man, who knows? Who knows? I don't know. Some days, I'll be honest with you guys, some days I'm like, yeah, DeRozan really wants this, and then some days it's like, do you really want this? So I don't know. I'm neutral about it. As far as his comments or any player's comments, I could care less. I just care about the actions at this point. And if you're on that court and you're not giving it your all, hey, you know, anything that you say doesn't mean anything. Hey, bro, at least Lonnie is getting consistent minutes now. Yeah, that is true. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get off. I appreciate everybody coming through. If you could, please go follow the chat, okay? Spurs chat on Flick Sports app. So you can just look it up. It's Flick Sports, all right? Or you can go to, or no, it's Flick Chat Sports, I think. You can find that on Google Play or Apple. Or you can go over to Spurs Wave, my Instagram, Spurs Wave. Go into the bio, got a link there. You can go straight to the Spurs chat, and we can talk Spurs basketball all day long. And I need more Spurs fans over there, because now Lakers fans are coming out the woodworks. All right, a lot of Lakers fans out of nowhere coming in talking trash. So we need more Spurs players in there. We can't just get jumped. But all right, y'all, I'll get with you later. I was trying to read that. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get off. I appreciate the love. Until next time, deuces.